When I started day trading, I thought the hardest part would be learning the charts. But I was completely wrong. The real challenge is something happening inside your own brain. If you watch trading videos on YouTube, it often looks like day trading is mostly about strategies, indicators, and finding the perfect setup. But after starting this journey myself, in my late 50s, I realized something very quickly. The hardest part of day trading is not the charts. It's what's happening inside your own head. And in my experience so far, 3 things make trading incredibly difficult, and almost nobody talks about them honestly. So in this video, I want to share what I believe are the 3 biggest struggles traders face, especially when you are still learning like I am. Welcome back to my honest trading journey. If you are new here, I'm Jochen, 57 years old from Germany, and I started learning day trading later in life. I'm not profitable yet, and I'm documenting the real process, including the losses, the mistakes, and the lessons. I'm not here to teach trading, I am simply sharing my journey. And one of the things that surprised me the most is that the biggest problem in trading are not technical. They are psychological. The first and probably biggest challenge is emotions. Before I started trading, I thought decisions would be mostly rational. You analyze the chart, you find a setup, and you execute the trade. Simple, right? But when real money is involved, something changes. Suddenly, emotions appear very quickly. When a trade goes against you, even slightly, you can feel tension. Your mind starts asking questions. Maybe I should close the trade. What if this becomes a big loss? Should I exit now? And on the other side, when a trade moves in your favor, another emotion appears. Greed. You think, maybe it will go even higher. I don't want to leave money on the table. So the first big challenge in trading is learning to deal with fear and greed. And that is much harder than it sounds. The second big problem is discipline. Many traders, including beginners like me, eventually create rules. Things like when to enter a trade, when to exit, how much risk you take. But on paper, these rules are usually very clear. But when the market is moving and you are inside a trade, following those rules becomes much harder. Sometimes traders move their stop loss. Sometimes they take trades that were never part of the plan. Sometimes they trade too often. This is often called overtrading or revenge trading after a loss. If you saw my video from last week, you know what I mean. And I'm starting to realize that knowing the rules is one thing, but actually following them consistently is a completely different challenge. The third challenge is something I completely underestimated: patience. When you watch experienced traders, they often say, just wait for your setup. But waiting can be surprisingly difficult. You sit in front of the screen, you watch the market move, candles go up and down, and your brain constantly whispers, maybe this is a trade, maybe I should enter now. You know, I think it sounds familiar. Sometimes the hardest thing in trading is simply doing nothing. And doing nothing while the market is moving can feel very uncomfortable. There's also something connected to all 3 of these problems: doubt. Especially when you are still losing money, like I currently am, you start asking yourself questions. Am I learning the right things? Am I progressing fast enough? Will I ever make it? Did I start too late? And these thoughts can appear after losing days or difficult weeks. And I think it's important to talk about those openly, because trading can feel very lonely. Especially if you think you are the only one who is struggling. And we all know you are not. I'm still very much in the learning phase, so I don't have solutions yet. But I'm starting to understand something important. Trading is less about predicting the market and the outcome, and much more about managing yourself. Managing your emotions, managing your discipline, managing your patience. And that may take much longer to learn than any strategy. Something else I recently started learning about is that these reactions are not just psychological, they are actually biological. When you are in a trade and money is on the line, your brain can react as if something important, even dangerous, is happening. For example, when a trade suddenly goes against you or when you lost a trade, your body can enter what is called a fight or flight mode. Your brain releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. And that can create physical reactions. Your heart rate increases, you feel tension. Your thinking becomes faster, but sometimes less irrational. And that's exactly the moment when traders often make impulsive decisions. Closing a trade too early, moving a stop loss, or reacting emotionally instead of following the plan. The opposite can also happen when a trade goes well. Your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that is connected to reward and excitement. And that can make trading feel very intense, sometimes even addictive. You want another trade, another opportunity, another win. And that's one of the reasons why overtrading happens so easily. Understanding this helped me realize something important. Sometimes the problem is not that I don't know what to do. Sometimes the problem is simply that my brain and body react faster than my discipline. And learning to manage that reaction may actually be one of the hardest parts of becoming a trader. The reason I share this openly is simple. When you look online, it often seems like everyone is winning. Everyone is confident, everyone has the perfect strategy. But the reality of learning something complex, especially something like trading, is much messier. There are doubts, there are frustrating days, and sometimes there are losses that make you question everything. And I think it's important that someone shows that side as well. So for me right now, the hardest part of day trading is not the chance. It's dealing with emotions. It's having the discipline to follow rules. And it's developing the patience to wait for the right opportunities. That's where I am in the journey right now. If you are also learning trading, especially later in life, I'd be curious to hear what you find most difficult. If you found value in this transparent look at my 2026 trading journey, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Thanks for being part of my journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong. My name is Jochen, and this is my second career.